Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. Welcome to the Depression Recovery Channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. Today is Flashback Friday, a feature in which I republish one of my earlier videos you might not have seen that contains really important coping strategies that will help you attain a better mood. Now here's today's video. The title of today's talk is Victory Begins in the Dark. Before we begin, we need to tell our regular joke. You know, I lost my job as a set designer. I left without making a scene. Yes, I certainly did, and they were very happy about that. Okay, as I said, the title of today's talk is called Victory Begins in the Dark, and I have to be transparent. It actually came from a sermon by a well-known minister named Joel Osteen, who I follow, and the title is taken from his talk and even some of the content. But I think it's so important, people should hear it again. So when we think about the dark, it's usually got a negative connotation, like I'm lost, I don't know where am I, I'm in the dark, or the great quotation by the poet John Milton from his poem Paradise Lost, hell is a place where there is no light, only darkness visible. Or the great Teddy Roosevelt, who, like many famous people, suffered from depression. He called his place of depression the dark house. But being in the dark doesn't necessarily mean that all is lost, because there's another way to look at the dark, another way to see it. And that's our calendar, because the way it's set up, each new day begins at 12 a.m., right? But if you go outside at 12 a.m. and you look outside, look up at the skies, it's pretty black out there, just like it was at 11. However, each new hour that follows, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., as each of those hours progresses, we're getting closer and closer to the dawn. And before you know it, it's the light of a new day. This is why when I have insomnia, like say it's the summer months and I kind of wake up at 5, oh my God, what's wrong? But if I look outside through my window, it's already beginning to get light. So I'm saying, wow, okay, pretty soon the sun will come up and I'll feel better. And that's what happens. So again, the mark of each new day in the Western calendar is 12 a.m. And after 12 a.m., we are moving towards the light, even though we don't see it at the time. So when you're in a dark part of your life and things seems like nothing is changing, tell yourself that change is happening, you just can't see it. Think of what happens when we plant a seed. It's springtime here in Oregon. People are doing the planting. You put a seed under the earth, looks like nothing is going on, but the seed is germinating until one day it sprouts and you can see it, and there it is. So think of depression the same way. Oftentimes, many of my depressive episodes, I'm working at it, I'm still stuck. And then the next day, unexpectedly, something happens and there's the beginning of a breakthrough. So everything I was going through was building up to that, even though I couldn't see that it was until it happened. So that's why just because you're in the dark doesn't mean that nothing is happening. There is something happening, and one day it will come to pass. If you're in a dark period right now, you can say to yourself, look, even though I don't see any good or healing happening, slowly but surely I am moving towards the dawn. Now, this is almost impossible to do by yourself, right? Because you're so discouraged. That's why you need the encouragement and voices of other people who believe in you in order to get through this period. For example, when I was going through my last depressive episode, people kept saying, Douglas, you will get better. You will get better. No, I won't. They said, you will. And after a while, I thought to myself, well, all these people can't be wrong, right? And so I started to have a sliver of hope, which is really what I needed. And there's a name to this principle of encouraging other people and holding the highest and best for them. It's called keeping the high watch. And ironically, I just did a video on this a month ago, and you might want to see it. And the name of the video is The Best Thing You Can Do for Someone in Need. And that video describes the very principle of holding a field of hope for other people when they can't hold it for themselves. And that's what gets us out of the dark into the light. That holding on, knowing that the light is coming, the dawn is coming, but having enough encouragement from others and yourself to keep going on and keep persevering. Eventually, that perseverance is rewarded. Finally, many people, including myself, believe that engaging in prayer or stating a strong desire to heal can allow us to what I call cross the midnight threshold from PM to AM. So even though you can't predict when the dawn is going to come, when the sun is going to rise, you can help move it along by continually working towards and asking for your own healing. I'd like to conclude with a famous quotation by President Teddy Roosevelt, who went through many depressive episodes. In this quotation, he first introduced the term, the dark house. There's not one of us in whom a devil does not dwell. At some time, at some point, that devil masters each of us. It is not having been in the dark house, but having left it that counts. It's interesting that I first learned about this quotation in a documentary about the life of Teddy Roosevelt that I watched the day before I was admitted into Pacific Gateway Hospital, psychiatric hospital, in November of 1996. Surely this is one of the darkest periods of my life, and yet, eventually I did leave the dark house through receiving a spiritual healing, and this was the beginning of my current mental health ministry. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you found the information on this Flashback Friday video helpful. If so, please give it a like, as likes draw more and more people to this channel and hopefully some more subscribers. You can also leave your comments in the comments section or email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you do want to subscribe to this channel, click on my photo in the closing credits. You'll be taken to my subscribe page. And if you click on the bell to the right, you'll be notified every time I do a new video or live chat. And if you want to contribute to this channel and become a patron, simply click on the Patreon image. You'll be taken to my crowdfunding site. And until next video, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much.